In today's episode, we are going to revisit a topic that many of my longtime listeners have heard me talk about before, and that is who is on your team in retirement. Doing anything big takes a team. I mean, it's not a single person, whether you're talking about football or making a movie or doing anything, it takes a team of people. Who is on your retirement team? Let's roll.
Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, certified financial fiduciary, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income planning expert, best-selling author of Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, member of the exclusive Ed Slott Master Elite IRA Advisor Group, and founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim uses an education-first approach with clients nationwide to ensure they understand their choices in planning their own safe money retirement. Tim focuses on wealth management, retirement income, tax and long-term care planning, and asset protection and growth strategies. And now, from the Safe Money Retirement Studio in Johnson City, Tennessee, your host, Tim Wood.
So today we're going to talk about who is on your team in retirement. Now, I want you to really stop and think for just a moment. Anything of significance in life takes a team. Getting married, well, you need to have someone that can plan this and someone that can plan the cake and someone that can do this and someone that can do that and take care of the audio at the wedding and take care of this and make sure that the room is booked, and there's a million different things. Now, can one person do that with a wedding? Can. Will it necessarily be the best wedding? Not necessarily. What would be the best thing is to have a team. It's the same thing in retirement. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, do you already have your copy of Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success? If not, why not? We will send you a copy absolutely free with no charge and no obligation so you can make a plan that works specifically for your situation. In this book, you're going to learn what options there really are and what you can do to help yourself plan your own safe money retirement. Give us a call right now. We'll send you a copy absolutely free. It's 800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233, or just log right onto our website at safemoneyretirement.com and register for your book there. So let's jump back in. Anything of significance in life requires a team. So who is on your retirement team? Let's look at who should be on your retirement team, but I don't want to jump into that just yet. I want you to really think about this. So let's think about making a movie. If you wanted to decide, or your son or someone that you knew decided they wanted to make a movie, they can't do it all themselves. You're going to need a director. You're going to need someone taking care of casting. You're going to need someone that takes care of making sure that the people get fed. You're going to need someone that takes care of the hardware. You're going to need this and editors. And I don't know all the things because I'm not in that business. But think about the team it takes to bring you 1-2 hour movie, and the hundreds of thousands of hours probably combined that it takes to do something like that. It's not one person. In retirement, this happens so often, and it's not frustrating to me. It's actually sad and kind of scary. I see people all the time that are trying to do everything themselves. I'm not a master of everything. I can't do everything myself. I have people on my team that do things. But people come to me all the time and they think they're going to be their own CPA and their own lawyer and their own broker and their own health team and their own wealth team and their own retirement team. And you could name all of these things. You need to have people that are experts that can help you make sure you're making the right choices. So again, anything of significance in life requires a team. Who's on your retirement team? So a CPA. Having a good CPA is brilliant in retirement. And even before, you need to know what's the absolute best strategy to pay the least amount of taxes now and in the future. Does that mean doing some Roth conversions now? It might. Does it mean taking from this instead of that type of account because of the way it's taxed? It might. Having a good CPA is absolutely essential to your team. Now, maybe you're a CPA. Okay, great. Well, you don't need that. The second thing that you at least need to know who you would go to is an attorney. What's an attorney that you're going to go to if something happens, no matter what it is, financially or socially or whatever? Who's your attorney going to be for whatever the situation is? Another good person to have on your team in retirement. Your health team. So as far as your health insurance, who's going to take care of that for you? Who's going to make sure you're in the best Medicare plan? If you've been in Medicare for a while, who's checking every year to make sure you're still in the best plan? If you don't have someone like that, I can refer you to someone that does that. You need to make sure you've got the right health team to get you through all of the years of retirement. Another thing you don't want to try to figure out on your own is all of those Medicare plans. Trust me, I know all about them, and that's a lot. You need a health team that's going to help you figure out what you need to do. Now, the last two teams that I'm going to talk about, your wealth team and your retirement team, really play together. And here's the way I want you to think about this. Your wealth team is really the team that's helped you get to this point. Now, you may not have someone that you actually go and sit down in their office, but if you've got a 401k, a 403b, a TSP, whatever, they are part of that wealth team, right? They've helped you get to where you are. They've helped you amass what you have amassed. That's your wealth team. They're fantastic. Hopefully, they've done a great job for you and been able to minimize losses when the market's down and maximize them when it's up. I really hope you had a great wealth team and that they're still there. But when you start thinking about retirement, and especially when you're ready to transition into retirement, it's time to look at your retirement team. And that's where someone like myself comes in. A retirement specialist, a retirement expert is going to be able to help you move that money from the wealth team that you've amassed and now figure out, okay, we've amassed all of this wealth. That's fantastic. That's awesome. What are we going to do with it? All of that money just sitting there is just sitting there. What are we going to do with it? What's the purpose of that money? Y'all have heard me talk about that many times. Purpose of money is incredibly important in retirement. So you've amassed all this wealth. Does it need to pay you an income? Okay, great. Well, how do we want to do that? Do we want to put it in something that can pay you significantly more than 4% and you know you're never going to run out of it? Or do you want to put it in something that you can take out 4% and hope you don't run out of it? It could be either way. I mean, that's up to you, but you need to make a plan. If you don't need any income, great. How much of this do we need to know for sure that you're not going to lose no matter what happens? That needs to go into something that can grow with no chance of losses. Or do you need some sort of a legacy plan to leave a benefit when you're gone? Or do you need something that's going to take care of long-term care? There's so many different ors. You need to sit down with someone that is a retirement planning specialist. That's your retirement team member, and get advice. Find out what you should do. You don't need to know everything. All you need to know is people that do. You don't need to know everything about Medicare. You just need to know someone that does. You don't need to know everything about tax law. You just need a good CPA. You don't need to know everything about retirement plans. You just need someone that does. So I'm going to go back to finish this, go back to the very beginning of what we said. Anything of significance in life takes a team. When you're getting into retirement, you need a good team. You need to know you can count on your team members, that they are, for your retirement planner, they are a certified financial fiduciary. For your CPA, that they take care of exactly what type of assets and where your money came from, or your type of business if you own a business or whatever. Your lawyer, your broker, your health, all of it. Get someone that is an expert. You don't need to be an expert in anything. You just need to have people around you that are. So I ask you again, who is on your retirement team? Is your retirement team ready to take you to the end zone? I talk about it in my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. You need a game plan to find the end zone. Let's make sure you do. Sit down with someone today.
We all know that friend who's retired and still has to work. The one we've said we won't end up like, working till we die. But are you sure you're prepared? Hi, it's Glenn Beck, and I want to introduce you to Tim Wood. He is the owner of Safe Money Retirement. He's a certified financial fiduciary, and he makes sure that his clients aren't going to be that guy. Tim can help you know you'll have enough guaranteed income to cover you and your spouse for as long as either of you live and protect your money from the next market crash while it grows. Tim's helped hundreds of families know that they have a plan they can count on. You know I don't just trust anyone. Do your own homework with Tim Wood. Go to safemoneyretirement.com/Beck or call Tim. See how Tim can help protect what you've worked so hard for all those years. A safe retirement. Go to safemoneyretirement.com/Beck or call Tim and protect your money from the next market crash while it grows.
In today's case file, we are going to look at the story of Aaron and Celine. Now, when Aaron and Celine came into the office, you could tell they loved each other. That wasn't the problem, but they had very different focuses. They were very different. One of the things that I have clients do, and you can do this right on my website, safemoneyretirement.com, it's the RISA, the Retirement Income Style Awareness Assessment. You can do it absolutely free, takes about 10 minutes, and it tells you, it was put together by a couple of PhDs, and basically it's one of those personality profile type things, but it tells you specifically about your retirement based on your personality, what's going to be the best type of retirement for you. Where should you get income? How should you do this? How should you do that? It's all in that. So have them both do it. They came in, we're sitting down, and you could already see that they're kind of grinning a little bit, and I had seen their results. She was 100% into guaranteed income. She wanted to know she had enough income the rest of her life, no matter what. That was her mindset. I totally relate to that because that's my mindset as well. So that was what we needed to focus on for her. Aaron was totally different. Aaron wanted to be out there. He didn't care about guaranteed income. He wanted to just stay in the market and get as much growth as he possibly could. And, kind of a damn the torpedoes approach. And if it sinks me, it sinks me. That was his approach, and it's his money, it's his retirement. He can do whatever he wants. I'm just there to advise. So what do we do in that situation? How the heck do you handle something like that? You let each person do what they want. That's how you handle it. So what we did was we actually got Aaron. He didn't take all of his funds out of his brokerage account, but he actually took a significant amount and put it into a growth plan where he still can choose every year how that money grows, but he doesn't have to worry about losing any of it. Now, he's still got an even bigger chunk, a significant amount still in his brokerage account that's at risk, but he is in there every day moving things around. And if the market starts going down, he's moving it out of this and putting it in that. Great. If that's what you want to do, knock yourself out. So that's how we took care of him. He was happy. Great. What did we do for her? What we did for her then is we looked, because she also had retirement account plans. She had an IRA and she had a 403B because she was a teacher. So what did we do for her? What we did for her was we moved those funds into a guaranteed income plan that would pay her a guaranteed amount for as long as she's alive. So we actually got that in a few years before she retired, so it could grow on a guaranteed amount until she turned it on. Once she turned it on, that plus Social Security was going to pay her a nice chunk every single month, way more than they needed for expenses. So she knew no matter what, she wasn't going to have to worry about it. Now, one little caveat with her, we also did one extra smaller income plan. So she had another one that can keep growing for 10, 15, 20 years that she could turn on in the far future in case she ever needed a little bit more income. She left happy because she had the income she needed. He left happy because he was still in a growth mindset. That's how it worked out, and they both left incredibly happy. Now, how can this relate to you? You might be in the same situation. You might be in a relationship where one person in the relationship is the risk taker. They don't need guaranteed income. Come on, we've been fine. The market's been fine over the, you look over a long period of, I hear people say all the time, you look over a long period of time and the market's always up. That's not true. You go back a few weeks and you can hear an episode in my podcast that talks all about that. I give specifics, but that's not true. There's 20-year periods where it's not true. There's multiple 10-year periods where it's not true. So not necessarily, but we can design a plan to make everybody in the relationship happy, or at least some people can't be happy. let's face it, but as happy as they can be because we can custom design plans. Okay, well, let's say Mary. Mary in the relationship is the risk taker and she wants to have everything, make as much money as she possibly can, even in retirement. Okay, great. Well, how much of your money, Mary, do you want to make sure that you can't lose? That we would put into a growth plan that she can still get good growth but doesn't have to worry about losing. The rest she can play with in the market and hope she hits it big for that next penny stock or whatever. Great. Well, now let's say Bill is here and he's the exact opposite. He wants to know that he's got enough guaranteed income, can do just like we did for the couple I just mentioned. We can get him into an income plan that's going to pay him an income for as long as he's alive. And every spouse is going to have the option, do you want that income just to be as long as you're alive or as long as you and your spouse are alive? Now, of course, the payouts are going to be different depending on the plan and depending on how we set it up. There, can be anywhere from a 10 to a 30% difference from a single life to a joint life, but you have that option and that's something that we can look at. So that's how it relates to you, is whatever you and your spouse, if you're married, feel like, we can create a plan for that. And we can create a plan that can try to help both people feel comfortable so they both feel like they can have a safe money retirement. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your income in retirement is guaranteed lifetime income and not if-come. Avoid any future market losses, plan for the potential of long-term care, and make wise planning choices so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call us now for your free copy of Tim's best-selling book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. Our toll-free number is 800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233. Or log on to our site at safemoneyretirement.com for more information or to request your free book. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Obviously, by contacting us now, you are only taking the first step toward protecting your retirement. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified licensed insurance professional. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Interest and other guarantees in annuity contracts are subject to the claims-paying ability of the insurance carrier that issued the contract. The tax consequences of annuity income should be considered with the help of a licensed tax professional. Rates and returns mentioned on this program may vary based on state availability and are subject to change without notice.